Just checking out, please.
Room number?
136.
Aaron Luz.
Yes.
All paid.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Adios.
Drop the roof and let the smoke clear.
Mira.
Drop the roof and let the smoke clear. I got diamonds doing just
This is
slots
Kate.
in both
Oh my god.
tonight.
Finally.
Stick that on and we might miss the fight. Fuck a night, I keep the guala in my shorty bag. Yeah, she want mine.
Good morning, people. Happy Friday. We are in the cold but beautiful Denmark. Cold but beautiful Denmark doesn't really tell you that much. I am in Copenhagen. We decided very last minute we're going to do a weekend trip here to Copenhagen. Just complete randomness, to be honest. Last Sunday we were like, you know what, let's go on a random trip. Trading has been amazing. We've pulling out great money from the personal, great money from stocks, and like, what else do you do with trading profits other than just enjoy life? So we are here in the beautiful Copenhagen for the weekend. Gonna take you guys around weekend in the life. We took a great trade yesterday on gold, made about $700 US, 1,000 Australian dollars in like 15 minutes. So I'll break that down for you guys. We'll break down a lot of trades in this because we've had some bangers on stream this week. And we got up to, I'm gonna go grab some coffee and then we're gonna jump on the London live stream with the crew. Let's go. And this is like one of the most amazing things about trading, which I sometimes forget because sometimes I'm too like, you know, just wrapped up into trading on my screens at home all the time. But when I do this, I'm like, man, trading is the fucking best job in the world. Where else in the fucking, what other job can you decide when you want that you're gonna get up, pack your bag, pack your laptop, and you'll be able to make money? Like, there's no other job. I don't have to ask my boss for time off. I don't have to request holidays, which I used to have to do for a very long period of my life, and that honestly feels like an absolute lifetime ago. But it was just fucking crazy to me to think that it's like you have to go, you know, knock on my boss's door like, hey boss, can I request this time? I'm like, you know what, Sunday we want to go on a trip, let's go on a fucking trip. We explored all of yesterday, came back and made $700 US in 15 minutes. I'm like, trading is the best, man. Trading is the best. You guys who are upcoming trading, just stick at it, man. I've been trading for 8 years. I tell you one thing. Oh no, I thought that was eggs. He doesn't look very happy. Look, I thought he had eggs in his basket. A basket? No, nest. Definitely a nest. No, he doesn't. But yeah, so I've been trading for 8 years, and like, yeah, it's not easy. Trading is also probably one of the hardest careers in the world. But you get good at it, you make good money. $700 US in 15 minutes trading on a screen is like, man, it's good enough for me. Look at these views, man. This place is beautiful. And we're actually staying literally right opposite. Kate's in there working right now, but we're staying in this building here overlooking this beautiful lake. And like, I love Spain. You guys who maybe plan on coming to do like a Euro traveling trip, I like Spain, don't get me wrong. For my Spanish viewers, shout out to you guys. But coming to places like this, to me, is like more my style. Like, it's just, the air's fresh, it's just very like clean and nice and aesthetic, and the people are very happy, and I love countries like this. One of my best friends lives in Oslo. I've been to Oslo a few times. Also a beautiful country. This is my first time I've ever been in Denmark, and so far I like it. I really like it. And speaking of which, this is another reason why trading is the best job in the world. Is I got here yesterday on a completely whim of a trip, just last minute decision. Kate, this weekend let's pack up and let's go to Copenhagen and trade for the week. And also just said to my friend who lives in Oslo, we were just talking last night and we were just saying, like, should we come over? And it was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? Like, when else do you get an opportunity to do things like this as you get older, turn 31? So literally last night also just paid for my best friend who lives in Oslo to come over and see me in Copenhagen for the weekend. Literally, again, The perks of trading is I can come down. The perks of trading is I can be like, yeah, you know what, fuck it. Book him some flights, book him some accommodation literally right next to us, and just come down and spend the weekend together just eating good food, being in Copenhagen. And again, it's like, it's just so crazy. I'm smiling because trading is such a crazy thing. It's like, again, like me 5 years ago, it's like, not only could I not afford to do this on my own, it's like, I couldn't afford to say to my friend, yeah, fuck it, let's book you some flights, book you some accommodation, come spend the weekend with us. Like, he's in his own grind, so I was like, yeah, book the flights, book you some accommodation right next to us. So I got my friend Jordan flying down today, where we're going to enjoy the weekend. But I'm actually going to trade first here this morning, so we'll just see what the markets are. Like I say, I'll give you guys plenty of trade breakdowns in this video as well, if you guys haven't already. I did do a video breaking down everything I've made from the markets in 2026 so far. January to March, I'm up like around $141,000, which is, yeah, pretty insane. But again, the reason I do things like this is because if I get too wrapped up into that and too focused on that dollar amount, you know, that's when the big loss is coming. So I do things like this to keep me grounded and remind myself of why I actually do this. So yeah, trading can change your life, but you are also responsible for that. Trading isn't escape. It's going to take fucking hard work. Now I'm going to go loop around here, and I think there's a coffee shop over here, and then we're going to go back and jump on the charts. Actually, I'm an idiot. Why am I an idiot, may I ask? Good question. I'm an idiot because it's Good Friday. The market's going to be closed, but it's NFP day as well, so I don't know if the markets are going to be closed, but pretty sure gold is definitely closed on Good Friday. I'm sure metal markets are fully closed, but it is NFP day, so maybe we'll go back and trade, maybe we won't. Either way, I'll break down the trade for you guys. I'm not too sure what we're going to talk about in the London live stream today with gold being closed, but let's go see. Look at this. The coffee shop is shut. It's not going to be a Good Friday for much longer, I'd tell you that much. It's not a surprise because it is Good Friday, but I thought coffee shop might still be open. Maybe there's some still open. People don't drink coffee on Good Friday. Good Friday is a good time to have a good coffee. I was hopeful. I was very hopeful. Our trading career is built on hope. So I'm very hopeful in life. Didn't pay off, and that's a joke, by the way. Trading isn't built on hope. Well, I'm gonna go hope there's some more coffee shops around here because I need my coffee. I remembered what I was trying to say about the difference to Spain, and Spain is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, Spain's a beautiful country, but you kind of go to Spain like as like a holiday for like summer and beach, whereas somewhere like this for traders, like something about it just feels so peaceful. Like in these Scandinavian countries, it just feels very like zen and peaceful, which same as when I went to Switzerland, it feels very peaceful, which I feel like is exactly. I see coffee house, I see an espresso house. Now that's got to be open. That has to be open. But yeah, something about like being here, like when I was in Switzerland, is just, yeah, super peaceful, which I think for trading is just very, very, very important. Being in nature, such a beautiful place to experience in this country, that is open. There's no way that's not open. Let's go try.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if I have any question before you go.
Alright guys, so we got the coffee. Coffee is secure, but I literally just went to jump on stream, and as I went to go live, the whole entire stream crashed, which is so typical because I'm all set up. Well, they'll show the guys the beautiful background, but I guess it's Good Friday, so maybe it's a reason to not be on the charts. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down for you guys one of the trades I took yesterday to make 1,000 Australian dollars, $700 US in about 15 minutes. So we'll jump on the charts, we'll break it down, and I'll also show you guys my higher time frame bias to understand intraday trading opportunities. So as you guys can see here, this is the trade that I took yesterday. Now, why did I decide to buy gold here? Now, there's a few reasons. We actually called great sells in the Asia market call yesterday for gold to have a nice retracement, which you ended up doing perfectly. And if you guys haven't already, be sure to check in the description below. There's a completely free 4-hour-long trading course going over my entire liquidity concepts. And this is where in our Asia market call, coming into the markets on Thursday, we actually called gold for a bit of a sell because we had this great trend line coming up. We had gold above some lovely liquidity levels where we took, again, amazing buys last week in London and amazing buys on fast markets on Tuesday as well, buying gold all the way back up into these previous highs here, because this is where I was saying on my London stream, on fast markets in front of thousands of people, that I'm looking for gold to come up and liquidate these highs here. Why? Because anyone shorting from these levels, what do we know gold loves to do? Loves to tag previous highs or lows before having that downside move. Again, people short here, risk of the highs. So what you're doing, you're buying up into where most people are trying to short. Now, once you get above this high, then above here, this is where I believe gold can have a bit of a retracement. Why? Because you're very overextended at that point. You know, gold's already up from highs to lows, 4,000 ticks, which is just absolutely insane. And after a 4,000 tick move, you haven't liquidated any daily lows. This is where I want to get short into. Now, I didn't get the short, like I say, but we called it perfectly. The reason I didn't get the short is because I simply don't trade Asia here in Europe. I will want to go back to Australia, but right now I'm not trading Asia, but I do the market calls for the guys inside Discord who do trade Asia every single day. The reason that I got long where I did, now there was actually a great London long here on gold based off this morning star play and huge rejection of 4,600 for a nice retracement back up into this previous breakout level. But again, I wasn't trading London. Why? Because I was traveling here to Copenhagen. So do I get FOMO seeing gold down that much and then moving up here again? Not at all. I simply wait. So when I actually got back here, I jumped on the charts around 10 a.m. London time. And I saw price said, you had a big sell-off. You were kind of in a bit of range. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to walk away for a couple of hours, let the markets develop, and then see what I get later into the evening. And as you guys can see here on this hourly time frame, which is my most important time frame to trade gold, I never, even though I'm day trading, I never drop down, go straight to the 5-minute and try and pick direction. My trading ideas are never based off the 5-minute. The 5-minute is purely to press buy and sell. My trade ideas are all based on this higher time frame right here. So the way that I trade is I'm not here to predict, I'm here to react. And what you guys can see here is you tag lows and closed very bullish here, right at the New York Open. Gold was up 730 ticks after liquidating major lows. Now, do I get FOMO here? Do I think, if I bought down here, I could have made this money? I go, no. Who gives a shit about what could have happened? The best way to trade gold is to let the markets break out and then simply follow it. I'm not trying to predict the market. Yes, it would have been nice on a lower time frame to look for reversal signs from this hourly double bottom. However, I wasn't on the charts, but when I see price breakout like this is where I go fantastic. You have that hourly candle closure. My job coming into 3 o'clock is to continue buying gold based off the fact that the hourly has closed very nice and bullish. And again, you guys know my trendline liquidity strategy. Perfect trendline coming down here. Most people trying to short this trendline. We're trying to buy up into that trendline. So you got this huge breakout, and I started to get long on the 5-minute rejection of these previous lows for price to come up and retest this VWAP level. And again, this from here to here was about 260 ticks. At 1 micro, the smallest size you can trade on gold, $260. That is absolutely amazing. For me, I took this an initial 2 contracts and then scaled in another 2, getting gold momentum up into this VWAP before then you came all the way back up into that 4,700, and then you pretty much ranged for the rest of the day. But this is typically where I will drop down and start looking for the longs below these hourly lows again, which is exactly what we did live on fast markets on Tuesday, the 31st of March. This is where I took this long on fast markets for the exact same principles. You had a trend line coming down. Most people trying to short that trend line, trying to buy up into that trend line. So here's your liquidity levels. You had a perfect 5-minute 3-bar reversal right at 4,600. But more importantly, you had an absolutely perfect 3-bar reversal on the 30-minute. Again, which is the reason I was taking longs on the 5 minute. 30 minute came down, tag lows, held support without grabbing any highs, rejecting 4600. So when I dropped down to the 5 minute of this 2:30 London time candle right at the New York Open, am I looking for longs or shorts? I'm absolutely looking for longs. Why? Because the 30 minute is grabbing previous lows, holding support, so I want to be a buyer based on that higher time frame. Because you could see this 5 minute breakout and go, ah, fantastic, this is going to be the big short. But I'm not looking for shorts. Why? Because the higher time frame has given me absolutely no reason to take shorts. So higher time frame paints the picture. 5 minute is purely for entry. Never use the 5 minute to try and pick direction on gold, because you will find yourself trapped in terrible trades in all of these ranges in here. You trade in these ranges once the higher time frame actually confirms the move, and that is the key to be able to take good intraday trades here on gold. And if I show you guys my personal account here, just because I've been talking to you guys earlier about how we've been making fantastic returns to the markets, you guys can see here, Blueberry Markets, my name, live account. If we go to, let's go to the year so far on my personal, which I pretty much just started trading around February when there was the restrictions on gold. So I fired up the personal again. If we put it to today's date, you guys can see here, we're sat around $43,000, which is very, very nice. Now, I actually started this in February. You guys can see here the 9th of February with $25,000. So I put in 25,000, and you guys can see here, traded very, very, very consistently. You know, great wins, you know, 0.25, 0.25, 0.5, no crazy lots. You don't need crazy lots in these markets. 0.25, 0.5s, took out 10,000, took out another 10,000, took out another 10,000, so there's 30,000 withdrawn. You guys can see, traded it, took out another 5,500, lost 6,000, which I broke down in another YouTube video, which was a big loss, took out another 1,000, and I took out another 10,000 yesterday as well. So $43,000 profit from $25,000. So in total, 25,000 plus 43, sitting around like $68,000 if I hadn't taken out the initial 25,000 and some, which is good. Just following the exact same things that I just broke down for you guys. And like I say, I'm not using huge lots. I'm using 0.5 to, here was a 1.5 lot, 0.5, 0.2s, all of the time. I think that 1.5 lot was the only time I ever took a trade that big, 1.5. And you can see it wasn't even huge profit. You know, my biggest profit for the last 2 months has been $5,700, which is a 0.25 lot on silver. So you guys don't need huge size to be making good, consistent returns from these markets. You need a good trading plan with a consistent winning mindset. So no stream today, unfortunately, for the guys in the London stream, but hopefully you guys who did miss the stream, this helps instead, because this is exactly what I was going to do on the live stream anyway. But for now, 9 AM, going to drink the rest of the coffee, and we're going to go enjoy the day here in Copenhagen. If you guys have any questions about any of these trades, always feel free to leave in the comments. Oh, what is it? Thank you. Top one. There we go.
You could go in and be like, you're making this stuff right.
Is the police looking for Jordan?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, is that Fran?
See how my left goes? That's going to be to my right, so I could left foot there.
You gotta do it.
I think we can do that one there.
Camera's on, so you gotta do it. Camera's on, so you gotta do it.
Yeah.
Is it like trying to offer it, or it doesn't really matter?
Do what?
You're not supposed to brush your legs, or does it really matter?
Don't go on with your toes, not your ball of your... You were like this. You're going to be way more risky if you can get your... Oh, really? Okay. This.
Yeah, okay. All right, good morning, guys. Happy Monday. So we had a good weekend here in Copenhagen. You guys have seen the clips. We did a lot of fun stuff. It's just been nice just to chill for the weekend, to enjoy the long Easter holiday. It is Monday morning here, and I actually took an initial loss here on gold, minus $185, taking a buy live on stream. However, the trade idea and direction was completely correct, and the liquidity levels have all now been hit perfectly, where we broke this trade down and took this position live here the 6th of April. And after taking the loss, I said to the guys, you know what? The idea isn't wrong. The trade's just not valid at this point. But just because we've taken a loss doesn't mean we're necessarily wrong on an idea. We were maybe just a little bit early, or the markets needed a steeper bottom wick, which was the situation here because it was a bank holiday, so maybe we needed more liquidity. But whenever you take a loss, what's important to remember is not to get the urge to chase or fight the markets. Like I was saying live, is like, you know what? I've taken a loss here. It's completely okay. I can make back $185 easily, but only when it actually makes sense to do so. Now, the markets broke down. We cut our loss $185. Would have ended up being about $300-400 loss, which we mitigated perfectly. And then price started to re-break back above, and I gave the trade another chance, and it played out perfectly. And I made back the $185 and some, and I've actually ended the day up here over $500, which I'll show you guys. Ended up the day plus 540. So we had the great trade on Thursday, which I think was about $700-ish. About $714 on Thursday, which is about 1,000 Australian dollars, and I've just made $540 here this morning by 10 a.m. Copenhagen time. So we are absolutely done. The trip has been fantastic, and I also got, I'll show you guys as well, on the personal account this morning, I made, where are we today, 2,425. You guys can see here, and if I just show you guys, no Fugazi shit, you guys can see here, look, live Blueberry Markets regulated Australian broker, $2,425 on the personal, $500, that's AUD, US dollars on the personal. So the trip has been absolutely more than paid for. But I'll break down this trade for you guys as well, because it's a very, very, very important trade. I'll just show you guys. You can see here, this is the liquidity levels that we gave on gold today for price to come up into here. We had this hourly breakout. We bought it here. We just had an aggressive steep bottom wick. I got back in on the flip and played it up into here to here. Ended up being a great trade. Look at this. $540. So the reason I just wanted to break this down for you guys is because, like I say, it's not about being right. It's not about being wrong. It's about trading what you see. And if it doesn't work, but you did everything right, who gives a shit? Good job. Look for the next opportunity when it makes sense. The markets don't care about being right or wrong. What the markets care about is you staying reactive to the plan. Now, we're going to go get some breakfast, enjoy our final morning here in Copenhagen, and then tonight we're flying back to Spain. It's been a bit of an all-around-the-place vlog, but I appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in. If you guys are new here, remember, drop a like, subscribe. We got lots more travel, trading, adventures coming. So I'll see you guys live on stream or in a brand new YouTube video. Trade safe. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.
Fuck it, I just run it up before I go. Would you tell the world my secrets if I let you close?